What's up everybody, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about 6 Days in Fallujah. 6 Days in Fallujah is an upcoming tactical shooter game developed by Highwire Games and published by Victura. It is slated to be one of the first video games to focus directly on the Iraq War. The game's plot follows a squad of US Marines from 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines, fighting in the Second Battle of Fallujah over the span of 6 days in November 2004. The premise of the game was subject to controversy in 2009, with questions raised as to its appropriateness, especially given the fact that the true events of the game is based upon were recent at the time. It was originally to be published by Konami. However, in April of 2009, a spokesperson informed the Associated Press that Konami was no longer publishing the game due to the controversy surrounding it. The game was originally slated for a 2010 release, but it was cancelled due to the controversy. The game was put on hold until 2016 after its original studio, Atomic Games, went bankrupt in 2011. February of 2021, the game was announced to be back in development at Highwire Games, consisting of former Halo and Destiny game developers. 6 Days in Fallujah is expected to be released on PC, both the PlayStations, the Xbox One and the Xbox X and S in Q4 of 2022. The team at Atomic Games interviewed over 70 individuals composed of the returning US Marines, Iraqi civilians, Iraqi insurgents, war historians and senior military officials, and learned the psychological complexity of the battle. The game's director, Juan Benito, elaborated that through our interviews with all of the Marines, we discovered that there was an emotional, psychological arc to the Battle of Fallujah. Atomic Games described 6 Days Fallujah as a survival horror game, but not in the traditional sense. The fear in 6 Days does not come from the undead or supernatural, but from the unpredictable, terrifying and real tactics employed by the insurgents that were scattered throughout the city. Benito states that many of the insurgents had no intention of leaving the city alive, so their entire mission might be to lie in wait with a gun trained at a doorway for days, just waiting for a Marine to pop his head in. They went door to door clearing houses, and most of the time the houses would be empty, but now and then they would encounter a stunningly lethal situation, which of course rattled the Marines psychologically. GamePro has stated that Benito giving players the taste of horror, fear and misery experienced by real-life Marines in a battle was a top priority. Benito states, "These are scary places with scary things happening inside of them. In the game, you're plunging into the unknown, navigating through darkened interiors and surprises left by an insurgency. In most modern military shooters, the tendency is to turn up the volume to 11 and keep it there. Our game turns it up to 12 at times, but we dial it back down too, so we can establish a cadence." According to one of the developers who worked on the game, the development team consulted non-fiction books about the battle as part of their research, such as Patrick K. O'Donnell's We Were One, shoulder to shoulder with the Marines who took Fallujah, incorporating these recollections into the game's events and storyline. Atomic Games has also stated that the game's environments are 100% destructible and degraded thanks to a completely custom rendering engine, and it would surpass that of Battlefield Bad Company. They state the engine gives us more destructible capability than we've seen in any game, even games that aren't finished yet. According to the developers, destructible environments are critically important in telling the true story of the events of Fallujah, as Marines eventually learn to blow holes in houses using C4, grenade launchers, airstrikes and depleted uranium shells to blindside anyone waiting within. It is also stated that the claim of the game containing destructive environments is genuine and not based around a goofy, out-of-the-place marketing gimmick. Every city and every room you clear will be procedurally generated every single time you play the game, so no two playthroughs will ever be the same. And as we wrap this video up, first I want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider dropping a like. It helps out me and helps out the channel. Let me know your thoughts and impressions of 6 Days in Fallujah in the comments. I always love to hear from you. Subscribe for more upcoming news on 6 Days, as well as more gaming news, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to know when my next video goes live. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you then.